Man, I'm telling you, these AMC artisan films, why are they so artsy fartsy? I mean, seriously, my fellow A-list subscribers gotta agree. You're like, why is this an AMC artisan film? Inside Out 2. Yes, 9 years after Pixar's 2015 film Inside Out, we finally get a sequel. Inside Out 2 takes place 1 year after the events of the first movie, and Riley Anderson is now 13 years old, which can only mean one thing. Puberty. She's a teenager now, which comes with its whole slew of new problems. The old emotions, joy, anger, fear, disgust, and sadness, now have to deal with some brand new emotions. Anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui. Out with the old, in with the new, that doesn't sound right. These new emotions are taking over, that can't be good for Riley, so what are we gonna do? And now we have Inside Out 2. Now, these Inside Out movies, I see them as really important movies, actually. Because these are movies that attempt to explain human emotions. That's no light task, because that means these movies are trying to be relatable to everybody, with a couple of exceptions, I imagine. And the first movie, I felt knocked it out of the park. Everything explained in there, for the most part, I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. With the sequel, I mean, I might have to sleep on it if I'm being honest. For the most part, again, I was like, yeah, that does make perfect sense. But this movie does do something that I feared it would do going into it, which is, it makes new rules. Yeah, like Dua Lipa style. These things that are now set in place, I was like, that wasn't in the first movie. And again, it does make sense. I mean, as people grow older, their brains expand, more knowledge comes in. People change over time, so yeah, I get it. But that being said, we've seen adults' minds in the first movie, and they didn't have these new rules, at least I didn't see them. So in that way, I would say, yeah, this sequel does do a little bit of retconning, which for me is kind of a red flag. I don't like that. Keeping up with the continuity, attention to detail. I can't say this movie really does that entirely. And yeah, I know, I feel like I'm sapping the fun out of this. I hate to be that guy, because this movie's getting great reviews all around. I like the movie, to be sure, this movie's really good. I'm just saying, I guess I don't like it as much as everybody else. I mean, I'm sorry. I guess I am gonna be that guy. Alright, let's talk this movie up, huh? I'll help you feel better. The characters, old and new, are great for the most part. Still love Amy Poehler as Joy, which is funny, because in the first movie you're like, she's kind of a prick. But she learned to treat sadness like any other emotion. Now in this movie, she treats sadness okay, but when anxiety comes along, Joy's like, no, I'm gonna treat you like I treated sadness in the first movie. Old habits die hard, I guess. Phyllis Smith is still great as sadness, Louis Black is still awesome as anger, but there have been some recastings from the first movie. Liza Lapira replaces Mindy Kaling as disgust, and actually I did think she was pretty good, but Tony Hale replaces Bill Hader as Fear, and going in I was like, I'm not gonna like that, and walking out I was like, I didn't like that. I'm sorry, Fear was my favorite character in the first movie because Bill Hader is just, there's no replacing Bill Hader and his haterness. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a Bill Hader fan or something, but I just didn't like Tony Hale in the role. I liked Fear's writing, I laughed at what he did, I just couldn't get used to that new voice. But Anxiety stole the movie for me. Anxiety's gotta be one of the greatest antagonists possibly ever in cinema, I dare say. Because it's genius, right? Anxiety is everybody's own personal villain inside their own heads. I'm not going to ruin anything here, this is a spoiler-free review, but the way Anxiety was written, the way she was performed vocally by Maya Hawke, everything about this character, that was a genius part of the movie for sure. Standout character in the entire thing, she was awesome. But as far as the other new emotions go, none of them were really as important. I did like Ennui though, she had some pretty funny moments. And just like in the first movie, there is that adventure aspect throughout Riley's mind. This time it's with joy, anger, fear, and disgust. And again, there's some pretty cool stuff to see. Some stuff that's rehashed from the first movie. There is one character that they meet down there where I was like, this character is annoying the hell out of me. I can't take this. Again, I guess I understand the appeal, but this is actually something that I don't relate to. Like the way this character functioned in the movie, again, no spoilers, but I was like, my brain wasn't like that. Thankfully, this character is not in the movie for long. Really, it's just this one scene. Again, just like the first movie. In the first movie, there was one scene that really did keep the movie from getting my best rating, and it was the abstract thought scene. Really, I was like, what was the point of that scene exactly? This one scene in the second movie was actually kind of worse because I didn't like it. I'm just saying. So yeah, maybe it did lose me there. But it's okay though, because this movie grabbed me again and really kept me engaged in the last act of the movie. The last 15 minutes, oh my god, dude. The big thing that happens at the end of this movie, the big obstacle that they had to overcome, again being vague, I was like, dude, I am digging this. Holy shit. Honestly, it's the best part of the movie. That was genius. And the animation is really good, It's a really bright, vibrant, colorful movie, just like the first one. I like how it looks like the emotions are made up of tiny little light particles or something. That's really neat. And the score was also fantastic, and that was another concern I had going in, because Michael Giacchino wrote the score for the first movie, and I loved it. It's awesome. Now he's being replaced by Andrea Datzman, who, yeah, I know frequently works with Giacchino, but I was concerned anyway. But no, the score here is great, and of course it does use the themes from the first movie. Except she changed the key of it now. Oh, it was mainly in G before. Sounds really good in E, dude. Perfect pitch. So in the end, Inside Out 2, I liked it. I did. I can't say I loved it though. And I know, that's a bummer. I'm sure it is for you. Because again, everyone else and their mother loved this movie. But I just gotta be honest with my opinion sometimes. There were some things in this movie that bothered me. I can't say I like it as much as the first one. Just little things here and there where I was like, I would have done that differently. I would have had a different kind of character there. Or at least have this character not be nearly as annoying as they ended up being in this movie. And I understand Bill Hader's a busy man, but I would have worked around his schedule. I don't know. I'm not a casting director. I don't know how it went down. Again, really just little nitpicks that added up. But I do love the characters for the most part. It's got a great story. The ending is brilliant. Seriously, I'd see this movie again just for that ending. That'd be worth it. Cool animation, great voice acting, mostly, and a really awesome score. For Inside Out 2, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. I messed it up. That was anxiety attacking. You know what? I'm gonna keep that to be thematic. All right, so Inside Out 2, have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? What do you think about it compared to the first one? You're gonna kill me in the comments section, aren't you? Oh well, whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment Oop, I hit my mic. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!